ओके सो गाइज वेलकम टू आवर चैनल। जेई का रिजल्ट्स आ चुके हैं और अगर आप अपने रिजल्ट के साथ सेटिस्फाइड नहीं हैं सो आई हैव अ बेस्ट प्लेटफॉर्म फॉर यू वेयर यू कैन गेट द बेस्ट कोर्सेज फॉर IIT जेई. इट इज़ अन अकेडमी and Unacademy is the currently the best platform for IIT JEE. So Unacademy has plus subscription which includes access to all batches, test series, detailed analysis of test, doubt solving sessions, 24/7 doubt chat box, and video solution for your doubts. Currently students are getting the best possible 10% discount on Unacademy. So use code UCI underscore Tanmaypol to get the 10% discount. Hello guys, welcome back to our channel. So we are back with another video and this time our topic is mathematical reasoning which is a score booster topic. Like इस चैप्टर से हर शिफ्ट में कम से कम एक क्वेश्चन तो आता ही है. It is a guaranteed thing and it is a very easy chapter to remember and to solve as well. So let's start. Okay, so let's start. So our first symbol is of conjunction whose operation is the multiplication. Like this symbol, whenever it is going to be represented, it will represent multiplication. The second one is the disjunction symbol. So whenever disjunction symbol is visible, it represents the addition operation. So the third symbol is the conditional or the implication whose operation would be seen later in this video. It is also known as the if dot then. Fourth symbol is the biconditional and it is also known as the if and only if, whose operation would be known later in this video. So the next symbol is the negation symbol and its operation is to do the reverse of what is present, that is doing the negative. Okay, so now let's see the truth tables of every symbol. So the first one would be the truth table of conjunction, that is the multiplication. Since f and t also represent 0 and 1, so it can be easily understood by the truth table that when f and f comes together, that is 0 multiplied by 0 will give us the answer as 0, that is f. Similarly, when f is multiplied by t, that is 0 into 1, it will give us the value as 0. Next is t into f, that is 1 into 0, again the answer would be 0, and finally the t into t, that is 1 into 1, would give us the value as 1. So this operation would thus be called as p and q, and here are the results for every possible case. So the next is disjunction, where we have to just add the two given numbers or the two given operands. When we have true plus true, that is 1 plus 1, we will get the answer as 1. Again, it would when be 1 plus 0, the answer would be 1. Similarly, 0 plus 1, that is f plus t, would be t, that is 1. The next would be f plus f, that is 0 plus 0 equals to 0, that is f. Now this function would be called as p or q. So the next one is the implication function. Now here there is a small trick to remember. Like when p implies q, that is t implies t, it would give t. When t implies f, it would give f. F implies t would give us t, and f implies f would be t. Now the trick to remember this is, first let us consider t as a good person. When a good person does a good task, the answer would be t. When a good person does a bad task, now it is not accepted, so it would be given as f. Now if a bad person does a good task, now it would be accepted. Also, if a bad person does a bad task, now it is expected from a bad person, so thus it is true. Now this is the trick to remember. Sometimes we might get confused among these, so this is just a small trick to remember. So the next is biconditional, where when both the operands would be same, only then the answer would be true. Otherwise it is going to be false. Like when true is true and true are combined, it would give us true. When true and f are combined, it will give us f. When f and t is combined, it will give us f. And when f and f are combined, it will give us the value true. Now the negation is the simplest operation, where we just have to inverse it. Like true would be replaced by false and false would be replaced by true. So here are some results related to the conditional statement and the biconditional statement, which are really helpful for sum solving. So the first statement proves that p implies q is also equals to negation of p or q. That is, we have to add the two elements, that is the negation of p element and the q element. Remember that this is not the negation of the entire operation. It is just the negation of the P operation. Next one is the biconditional statement where P double implies Q is also equals to negation of P or Q and negation of Q or P. Here also even the negation is just of the P element and not of the entire bracket, and even here the negation is of just the Q element and not the entire bracket. But remember that there is this AND operation between these two operations. Okay, so the next part is the theorems where we will learn some theorems which will make the sum solving simpler. So the first theorem is the idempotent law, where it implies that when a particular element is either multiplied or added with the same element, it gives us the same result. Like here, P or P equals to P, and also P and P equals to P. So the second one is the commutative law. The commutative law also proves that even if the order of the elements is changed, even then they remain the same. Like P or Q is equivalent to Q or P. Also, P and Q is equivalent to Q and P. So the third law is the distributive law, where it signifies that P and Q or R equals to P and Q or P and R. So here simply the outer element is split among the rest of the two elements. Okay, so our next law is the association or the associative law. Here it signifies that when P or Q in bracket and then or R is also equivalent to P or in bracket Q or R. So it just signifies that the bracket can be interchanged at whatever point you want. The next is the De Morgan's law. So the De Morgan's law signifies that when negation of a complete bracket is done, we also have to reverse the operation. So when there is AND operation inside the bracket, then after the negation, it will be replaced by the OR operation. Along with these signs, the other elements, that is the P and Q, would also be reversed. Okay, so the next is the complement law, which signifies that when a particular element undergoes an operation along with the negation of the element, it implies T, that is true or tautology. Also, when an element undergoes an operation along with C, here C represents contradiction, which is false, it implies P. Also, the negation of T, that is the negation of tautology, would be equal to contradiction. Here T represents true and C represents false. Similarly, the negation of C represents T, that is negation of false represents true. So the next is the identity law, where it signifies that when P is multiplied by T, the answer is going to be P. It is because whenever any element is multiplied along with T, it solely depends on what the other element is. Now, if this element is false, then the answer would be false. If this element is true, then this answer would be true. When P undergoes an operation of OR along with C, then the answer is P. It is because when an operation of OR goes along with false, it solely depends on the other element that what the answer would be. If this is true, then the answer would be true. If that is false, then the answer would be false. Also, when P or T is the operation conducted, then the answer would be T. And if the operation between P and C is AND operation, then the answer would be C. So the next is the law of contrapositive. So when there is a conditional statement P implies Q, then it would be equivalent to negation of Q implies negation of P according to the law of contrapositive. Next is the involution law, which implies that the negation of P would be equal to P. Okay, so thank you for watching this video. I hope you like this video, and what all improvements or what all things you want, you can comment down in the comment section. Thank you.